I did an interview with this young man called Lumumba, and I want you to listen. I was so surprised by the end of the interview what he had to say. Please, Lumumba, do it again.
Today is my birthday.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm 24, and I would like to know what I think of my life. That is what I want to do with my life. Yet up to now, I can't give my life another direction as the one leading to total liberation of African people.
Amen.
To the respect of the black man's dignity. Amen. And to a personal contribution to humanity through this whole process.
Amen. Come on, guys.
But since this is a belief I've been having since first grade of primary school, that is since 13 years now, it seems to have some weight. But what's important for me is to wait. Wait until I have achieved this goal. Then I will say, Kum'a Ndumbe III, you're a serious man. Go on, I trust you. But not before. And I ask myself if I will ever get there. I don't just have to get there, but I have to surpass this stage and go further. Amen. When I speak of the liberation of Africa and the black man, it all includes love, art, religion, etc. One thing becomes clear. My life only makes sense in the total liberation of Africa.
Amen. 2 years, sir. 2 years, sir.
I don't know if I can express what I feel. But nevertheless, this primary formulation will improve from day to day and only reach its final expression after my death.
Amen.
What I ask myself is to fulfill this task. I'm between the past and the future. So my position doesn't depend on me. It's therefore important to do one's little work in the present, which will be history tomorrow. Since there is a definite issue about Africa's unification, I assume that the total liberation of Africa presumes its unification. And about the disdain of some races for mine, this specific situation offers me a solid basis for work. It's therefore a plausible basis.
Big man.
This is what I wrote on the November 1st of November 1968. Wow. I was a student at the University of Lyon. And I was so surprised yesterday by the interview, by the end of the interview, that Lumumba, my son, gave this the lecture of what you have heard now. 1968. I was 24 years old.
Wow.
And I think that today, I can say that, yes, I did it. Today I'm 70 years old. Amen. It was not easy. I was professor after this. I was professor at the University of Lyon.
Guys, be quiet.
Lyon 2.
Quiet your peace.
But I decided to go back to Cameroon. And the French told me, you are crazy. You are going to Cameroon? Why don't you have a beautiful career here in France? But I told them, no, my people need me back home. And I'm going to do what I can do there. And I'm still there. And you know your country. You know how difficult it is. I'm not a member of government. I don't belong to any political party. Because I said that I cannot. When I was a child, they told me a king has to open the door to everybody. Don't close your door to your people. And that's what I told the government. And they told me, no, it can't work. We need kings who are in the political party and so on. I told them I cannot. So you could imagine which kind of difficulties you can have in this kind of situation. My aim is to give the basis to our people for the liberation of our people.
Amen.
And when I say liberation, it means that it is so important to know who you are, what happened to our people, and where we should go, where the way, which kind of way we should go today. You went to school in Cameroon or elsewhere in Africa, but the books you used were written by the white people. Everything was done from people coming from outside. Who are you? It is not possible for you to stand really, how should I say? Yes, it is not possible. So that's the reason why I say that I will create this Fondation Afrique Avenir. I was lecturing at the University of Yaoundé, but it was clear for me that it was not possible to change really something. You go to the university library in Goaikele, books are from foreigners. You are a doctor, you have a master in Yaoundé, in Douala, but the books you use are from French people, from US, from British people, from what's that? And you want to develop your Cameroon? You cannot. And that's the reason why in the Fondation Afrique Avenir, when you come there, we have the Cheikh Anta Diop Library. There you find what African people and people from African descent have published. You can use the book. So we have students coming from France, from Germany, and so on since 1993, coming for 3 months, for 6 months, because they know that they will find all these there in Bonaberi. You can't find those books at the University of Yaoundé or Douala, you cannot. And I can't tell you it is very hard to do these kind of things. So my problem is that I want my people in Africa, and my people of the African descent in the US, in Brazil, in France, and so on, to have a place where they can come and reconnect and find what the legacy of Africa is. Amen. What the legacy of our ancestors is. You are studying, for example, mathematics, but you don't know what the legacy of the African people is in mathematics. Amen. You don't know that's the Ishango bone is the beginning of mathematics on this world.
Amen.
22,000 years before Christ. You don't know that, but when you come, you find it there in Douala, in Bonaberi.
Amen.
And that's what we are trying to do. And I need your support. I created the foundation in 1985. 1985. At that time, I was the president of the Writers Association of Cameroon. But it was clear for me that if I don't do that, nobody will do that. Now, I cannot say that I'm tired, but it's too much. We have chapters in Berlin, and the chapters in Berlin is run by white Germans. I asked them, how is it possible? And you are so dynamic, you are doing it really so strong. They said, no. Professor, what you have done, because I taught at the University of Berlin, I had the chair for African politics. I did it 10 years, then I went back home. Then the students told me, no, you don't go back home, we need African here. Because what you are doing is for the common destiny of humanity. It's not only for Africa and Africans.
Thank you, sir.
In Vienna, there is another chapter of Africa in here.
Amen.
Run by Austrians, white people. In Namibia, we have a chapter. And you know what? The Namibian chapter was created by a former white German students of mine in Berlin who went there working at the German embassy. And then there was a conflict between the ambassador and the president of Africa Veneer, this white, this German. And the ambassador told him, no, what you are doing in Africa Veneer is not the policy of the German government. So you have to choose. You are a German diplomat. You cannot be the president of Africa Veneer.
Wow.
He told him, I will remain to be the president of Africa Veneer. And he left the German embassy. Can you imagine that? Is it possible for a Cameroonian to do this kind of thing?
Nope. No way. No way. Nope.
Well, we start now. We starting now. We're starting now in Georgia. We can start.
So, now, last year I was here. Samon Galame is here, I think. Yes, Samon Galame is here.
2 years.
No. Last year, 2013.
C'est notre père de la nation.
I came to Atlanta. I've never been here. I was in the United States 1975. That was all. And then they invited me to come to get an award. They wanted to introduce me in this inaugural Hall of Fame with the wife of Martin Luther King and a lot of people and so on.
Monica Kaufman.
And yes, and Monica Kaufman gave me the award and said, I'm giving the award to a countryman because I'm a Bamileke woman. That's what she said. And that evening, they gave me a second award. The award for Outstanding Culture and Heritage Scholar 2013. And this year, when they wrote another letter that I should come, where is Girls? Girls is here? My son. I told him no. This is our...
Girls is busy collecting signatures.
He got married or what?
Yes, I told him no. This internet, people want to...
419.
No, to phone me. I do not think that it is a real invitation. And then you went to the internet and told me, no, Papa, this is weird. This is A.D. King Foundation. So I don't understand why I came here to get 3 awards.
Wow.
In my own country, I've never been supported.
From nobody.
started the foundation 1985 in Douala. No support.
Wow.
But we have done all these. So I think that I've done what I had to do. Thank to God and my ancestors. Now, if you think that you can take up the challenge, very good. If you think that it is not necessary, it is not possible, I can only say I've done what I could do. This foundation now is a world challenge now. Do you want to support it?
In Atlanta, we will have one.
We have a program, a 7 years program now. I don't have the time to explain it, but just to summarize, 2020, I want to have a place in my country where you can come from Brazil, from the US, from Russia, and after 2 or 3 weeks, you know that Africa is really not only the beginning of mankind, but that Africa is really the future of mankind.